Everyone, this is BJ with the Wandering Tangent Podcast. Just a quick word of warning, since I know some of our listeners have younger children. We do discuss what I shall call the deep Santa lore as part of our discussion. So if you have younger viewers who still look forward to getting visits from Santa, you may want to be a little careful about listening to this podcast with them around. Just as a word of warning. Enjoy! You better watch out! You better not cry! You better not pout! Because Jeff and Gary are here. I'm BJ. I'm also here. That is more than likely, very often, a reason to cry and pout. Now the question is why?
Crying and pouting.
Why are we here? After all, aren't we supposed to be on hiatus? Why?
Yes, we were.
Here?
Yeah, we kind of took a nap. Haha.
Took a
Took a long nap.
Because Gary
we
woke
were
up
asleep the whole
from a
time.
nap for this. We went into hibernation. Now we're here to have a holiday. Let's cut the chase. Christmas special. Because we were talking about the 2019 Christmas movie, Klaus.
Yes.
Gary, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So, you were the one who chose this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You were also the one who chose last movie that we talked about, which was K-pop Demon Hunters.
That was more of a popular demand, but yes, I get the point.
Okay. So, that means the last two movies we've done have been Netflix animations.
Yes.
So, I have to ask the question. Is Netflix paying you in cash or in Warhammer?
They do have plenty of money.
Cash or Warhammer? Well, I don't know if they have that much money anymore, because they did just buy they bought Warner Brothers, didn't they?
They spent it all.
I don't know about that.
Breaking news.
Must be breaking news.
I
I think
know.
this happened like yesterday.
It'll be
Anyway,
not great
Klaus.
news or old news for everyone eventually when this comes out.
Yes. So anyway, Klaus. So we're doing something a little different, as we are wont to do. We change. So instead of having a separate review, we are going to have one recording, and we are going to talk about the movie first and decide what our score is at the end. Because there's been very many times we have thought to ourselves after, boy, if we had talked about it first, my score would have been different.
And that very well might be the case, especially with my
We're
talk
talking
about
each other
first.
out of our scores.
I have a certain mood about this movie, but I want to hear your guys' mood, and then I can not just it be a hot take. So,
Wait,
I know
hot take. I thought you said you liked this movie.
BJ. Let's. I want to hear
Yes.
what you think about this. In kind of in brief, I guess.
In brief.
Because you're the big holiday, you're the big Christmas movie guy. You have very particular feelings.
Oh, dang it. I forgot. I was going to make a joke about the movie we come back talk about being Die Hard, but I totally forgot until just now. Dang it. I thought it was okay. I tried to go in as cold as I could. I did see... I guess we should mention, since we are not doing the review separate, it's just going to be free fire on spoilers for the entire podcast. So,
Yes.
spoiler warning.
Spoiler
warning. So, I thought it was okay. Like, most of what I had heard about it was people saying that it made them cry. So I went into it knowing, okay, it's going to be something sad in here somewhere. So when the sad thing finally happened, like, aha, there it was. So since I knew it was coming, I guess that didn't really catch me, because I'm like, I'm waiting for the sad thing, and how do I phrase this without sounding like a monster? The dead wife thing is always good for a good cry, I guess.
That doesn't make you sound like a monster.
No.
No.
I
Okay.
couldn't
His
detect the
wife
sarcasm
died.
there.
Well, that one actually didn't get me. You know what got me was at the end, and it wasn't sad tears; they were happy tears.
Okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
At the very end. Okay, since spoiler warning is in effect,
Yes.
and we're talking about a dead wife, but at the very end of the movie, the guy gets to settle down, and apparently whatever magic is making things happen, subtly making things happen in this universe, is bringing him back every year, I guess, presumably as Santa Claus, so he can spread joy to everybody. But the mailman, who is the main character, gets to meet his friend every year. And so that's what got me, BJ. And they weren't sad tears. They were happy tears. I'm willing to bet even you, a tortured old soul like yourself, would, a heartless old soul like yourself would cry a little bit at that.
I am a giant softie. That's why I'm snarky all the time, to hide all the tears.
To hide all of the kindness and joy inside of BJ. Yes.
Jeff, was this your first time of hearing this or watching this movie?
Yes, it was. First time. And at the beginning of this movie, I was not thrilled by it. I was ready to watch it, of course, because I am a committed member of this committee.
Yes.
But
A member
I have
of the
to
commitment
admit,
committee.
Yeah. I have to admit that the story did grow on me quite a bit. At first, I was very disinterested, but I liked a lot of the writing. I do like that the characters were not empty. They had something unique about them, and it moved on, and the town was, okay, I get it, there's a giant feud, but the story elements do come together. And the character arcs, I guess, they're predictable, but they definitely are good character arcs. And the message of the movie is fun. There's plenty of jokes here and there for kids to laugh at and people to enjoy. Together, it's a good film that gets better as you watch it. Certainly, you guys pick all these happy, joyous movies for my dark my dark soul to consume. It's probably for the best. But yes, it definitely had emotional moments in this storyline that were well done. And I think the theme of so much chaos and problems, and then what solves them is a gradual process of good spreading like a mind virus over the population with one interaction at a time. And slowly the entire situation morphs into something better. I think the whole thing is great. It's a great story, great transformation. Altogether good.
I think we need to get Joff. Good grief.
Joff.
I think we need to get Jeff off.
Joff.
Jeff off. That's where I got Joff from. You need to get Jeff off the internet, since the first thing he thought of was spread like a mind virus.
In this case, it was kindness and joy and a giving attitude that spread like a mind virus to the population.
Well, not like a wildfire, a mind virus.
Yes. So what a great
cognitive
positive
contagion.
movie.
I did appreciate it being just like this kind of quiet. I wouldn't necessarily say a mind virus or even a wildfire, but just kind of this warm, this nice warmth that started to spread through the community, one little step at a time. Kind of.
Yeah, and it's kind of a mistake, or it almost feels like it happens by accident to some degree, because it starts based on a motivation of selfishness. Because the postman doesn't care about the town, doesn't care about the kids, doesn't care about anyone but himself, because he is completely entitled and selfish. And so for a selfish reason, he starts doing something, and that causes an accident. It like goodness begins spreading because of an accident. And then after that, it gets more and more pervasive as it helps so many people, and people start to like it as they experience it.
People start helping each other, and they want to help each other more than they want to hurt each other. You kind of get the impression that the only reason why they've been fighting each other is because of long-standing tradition.
Yes. Something they don't really understand, but they're all very committed to and have been for many, many generations.
Yeah. I do kind of like it how the good guys win in the end by having the bad guys fighting each other, and that's literally what causes them to win. So it's kind of like, you can't stop it. Even if we go away, you can't stop it. So it was just kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the postman arc is great, and then you have the teacher. It seems like everything was so dark about this entire story, and even Klaus, the great character of Klaus, the Santa Claus persona, he has a lot of darkness too. He's a good person, but he's grieving. So everybody is sad or angry or hating somebody else. It goes from completely that state of just nothing but bad things, and then gradually they slowly change. And it's the kindness that his wife showed to him and taught him that was like the original seed of all this. Because he would give toys. He gave a toy to one kid that mailed him a letter. And then that very act, the postman, who is very selfish, and saw the opportunity.
Did
Go
the
ahead.
kid mail him the letter, or did his wife make sure that he got that letter?
That is a good question. I don't know if that was ever explained.
BJ,
but,
you saw the scene. What's your interpretation?
Well, technically, the kid did not mail the letter because what happens? The kid loses the drawing out the window, asks the postman to give it back, but the postman wants letters because he has to deliver 6,000 letters in a year in order to get out of this town. So
he's like, give me some money, and then the letter ends up in the postman's bag, and then the postman goes up to meet Klaus and still has the letter in his bag. But that's when the letter falls out of his bag, and there's some sort of weird, I don't know, I'd like to call it magic that's happening.
There's a sense that there's some sort of force that is invisible that is kicking these things off, like helping it get started. You get that sense, but it doesn't really outrightly come out and show it.
Actually, it does. There's like this weird, there's this weird windy, snowy impetus
that's
that
true.
moves
there
stuff around.
That is true. I guess I interpret it a little differently because I kind of think that maybe they're trying to draw that into the story, but also not too obviously. So it could just be wind.
It starts out pretty subtle, but there's the scene where the wind is like blowing behind Jasper, and it's like giving them like a halo or something. And as soon as Jasper turns around and see what Klaus is staring at, the wind drops everything. So it's pretty implied there is something supernatural going down. Somewhat. At least. It's subtly.
Yeah. I can only presume that it's, otherworldly forces aligned with Klaus's passed away wife.
Yes, that's kind of what they don't outrightly say it, but it is kind of alluded to that she is somehow still with him and is perhaps guiding this whole situation.
Well, I mean,
somehow
at the risk of getting kind of religious. I mean, at the end, Klaus is kind of translated, is he not?
He is.
He's kind of. He goes. Yeah.
He is vanished from the face of the earth in an ethereal way. Yes, BJ.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He travels into the fifth dimension.
He does something.
He
happens.
does not leave a body, and he becomes an immortal being. I'm sorry. What else am I supposed to take from that?
I mean, it's true.
Santa being a translated being answers all kinds of questions.
Oh, guys, I have to tell you the great tragedy that happened in my house this week, and this is relevant.
All right, let's go off on this tangent. Go ahead.
My
That's kind of
son,
the name of the podcast.
my son had the question, guys.
Oh.
The question,
Okay.
is Santa real? And we had to admit to him that physically, no, there is no physical incarnation of Santa Claus. But he lives in your heart. He lives in my heart, and he lives in his mother's heart, and he lives in... And if he wants to, he can live in heart too. And that's what makes us generous and loving and noble in this time of year.
Yep, and he can also reflect radar waves because that's how NORAD tracks him every year. Yeah, he also has that ability too.
We just couldn't keep it up for him, so it's kind of a great tragedy for me. I kind of wanted it to last for a few more years, but you know.
I don't know if this reveals too much information. If you would like me to cut this out, I will cut this out. But how does this talk come about without older siblings? Because it seems like it is usually the older siblings which cause this.
So I'm guessing that there must be. So there is a large amount of playground influence going on. Like he has a lot of.
There's rough kids.
There's a lot of kids that he likes to talk to on various and assorted playgrounds, and he makes very good friends. And then they talk and they go off in their own little world and talk to each other and have fun. And the question, so that raises the question of what are they talking about? And we get some really weird things. For instance, recently he came, though admittedly I think this one came from his grandparents because he saw a commercial on a show that he was watching. He was asking us for if he could get a video game, specifically Grand Theft Auto.
No, you can't. You're too young.
So the short answer is no. The long answer is, oh, heck no.
Short answer is no. The long answer is very no.
Very much no. I think my wife said that he, she's like, no, isn't that game all about killing hookers? And we're like, I'm sure that's something that you can do in that game, but I don't think that's the entire point of the game.
You have your own moral compass, from what I hear, which means a lot of people do terrible things in that game. But I've never played it, so I'm not an expert. I just know all of the rumors.
So so there's various assorted other things, like apparently, like he's asking us to watch shows like Squid Game, and we're like, what the heck is? And then we find out what Squid Game is, and we're like, how the heck do you find out about this? And then it's because of kids on the playground know about stuff, and they talk to each other.
So he has a friend like Jeff.
and Squid Game and Chucky and freaking all kinds of other weird stuff that we have no idea how kids these days find out about it, but apparently they do, and then they talk about it on the playground, and then we're like, oh great.
Oh,
Yeah.
to be fair, we are the people who did play Predator with G.I. Joes, so these things happen.
Yeah. So,
Mostly because of Jeff's dad.
You guys told me all about the books you were reading, and me being illiterate, I told you all about Predator in this story. So it was an exchange of information.
To be fair, I did read Jurassic Park pretty young, and Jurassic Park the book is way more rated R than the movies.
oh yes.
Yes.
Oh yes, definitely. I don't know if you can put that on a TV screen without, you know,
You probably
going
could today
with
pretty easily. But
no, Jeff. In the book, a guy gets his like his guts come out, and then the dinosaurs start to eat it before he dies, and it's described in graphic detail. I don't know if you could put that on a TV screen without getting, having war crimes trials, thrown at you, or something along those lines.
Okay.
So,
or have it on HBO. I mean, one of the two. Okay.
But
sorry, that comment came out loud.
anyways, so yeah, but anyway, no. So regardless, little
Meanwhile,
kids,
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, yes. Little
Meanwhile,
children talk about things.
Santa Claus, joy and happiness, the spirit of giving,
Yeah,
not the spirit of raptors getting clawing guts out.
actually,
of
it's
people.
Dilophosaurus, but in that particular case. But that is
That's
me being
true.
pedantic.
Okay, thank you. It was the Dilophosaurus in the story that did that, and it was Dennis Nedry.
To be fair, is it Dr. Wu who starts getting eaten while he's still alive by the raptors? So
Yes, there's
that
a lot
happens
of
more than once in the book. There's
Yes.
a lot of being eaten alive.
Okay, I had forgotten all about that.
So,
okay.
so we have, but regardless, that's how little children find out about these things days, especially if they are, single children. But I don't know how it happened for Jeff's kids. So Jeff, you have the other side of the coin. How did your poor children, start that particular snowball rolling? Or did you guys not play around with the whole
When do we
Santa
need
Claus
more?
thing?
No, we
I-
did.
You need to warn.
I'm not sure.
I wonder if I need to warn my sisters before they listen to this podcast, because I have some younger nieces and nephews, and sometimes this podcast is played within their earshot. So I'm like, we need to warn them about this
Probably
podcast,
do.
since we are
I don't know what you guys are talking
because we are
about.
discussing.
But I know Santa Claus is listening, and he will not be happy with what
We're-
you guys are saying.
We are discussing the deep Santa lore.
The deep,
The
deep Santa lore.
lore.
Yes, the deep Santa lore. Ooh, gosh. So, yeah, I mean, this
Anyway,
movie does have
I apologize, Jeff. I kind of interrupted you there. So
That's okay. I said I don't know, and then you interrupted me, so I don't think it was really a valid interruption. I think you pulled me out of. I don't have a good answer for that
that
because I kind of don't remember.
that was not a problem that you dealt with.
basically-
That was apparently a problem your wife dealt with.
That does,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Speaking of Klaus,
Actually, I do want to make one point
go ahead.
while we were talking about this.
Yes, go ahead.
I did kind of throw older siblings under the bus, but I do want to point out that probably because from hearing them talk about it, they were kind of traumatized about when they discovered the deep Santa lore from my brothers and sisters who are older than them. I guess I should preface this was I am the youngest in my family. I have a few older sisters and one older brother. And to their credit, not one of them tried to indoctrinate me into the deep Santa lore. How do I phrase this?
You get in trouble by phrasing it. That's how that works.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's a Kobayashi Maru, BJ. No win scenario. I had a Star Trek comment.
Surprising. Jeff mentioned Star Trek. I'm shocked.
Yeah, and it's 27 minutes in. It took a while.
I guess that means people can check that off their bingo card.
Now I just have this mental image. Mental image of people in Starfleet Academy. And like one of the final tests is that they're in this room with a bunch of young children and there's this guy in front of this lesson. And like, okay, tell them about Santa Claus. They're like, are you me? Tell them. We're men of science. We cannot. You must tell them the deep Santa lore.
And then he says, okay, there's this world to the very far galactic north. It is called North Pole. That there resides a race of beings whose great king is called Santa.
Now, now I'm curious. Does every planet have their own Santa Claus? Does the Santa travel from planet to planet as well as around the planet?
It's all the same Santa Claus, but he exists on every planet at the same time.
Is he like...
Yeah, because he's multi-dimensional, so he exists in all three-dimensional spaces
of the fourth dimension
at the same time.
Is he more powerful than the Qs then?
Maybe Santa...
I would say so. I would say the Q are quite afraid of him. Especially, yeah. If he can deliver... And the Q have never demonstrated that they could do everything in the universe all at once. If he can deliver presents for every planet and every chimney in the entire universe, that's probably...
I'm sure even the Qs that are on the nice list get presents. So even they're mystified on that particular day.
Yeah, not the ones that torture things for their
the ones who are good
right?
and nice.
But I would, just to go back a little bit, as far as the Starfleet personnel, after seeing Abraham Lincoln appear off the port bow,
what?
Suddenly right there, I don't think they'd ever be surprised to meet Santa. It would be like just another day in the fleet.
I'm not picking up what you're putting down. Abraham Lincoln, what?
Yeah, there's an original episode where Abraham Lincoln, a gigantic Abraham Lincoln, appears in front of the Enterprise. And they scan it, and they're like, what is it?
The original series is so weird.
It reads as Abraham Lincoln. It was probably during a writer's strike, I imagine.
So, Gary, tell me, how does Santa work in Dune?
In Dune? Well,
Santa is the Kwisatz Haderach.
No. So there's a lot less snow.
Obviously. Well, like, just under... Santa's sleigh is pulled by 8 giant sandworms.
He has to get around somehow, and whatever transportation is available on that world.
And then he sneaks in very quietly. This is very difficult because sneaking up on the natives of Arrakis is, quite difficult. He doesn't even bother with the planet Gidi Prime. That's the home world of the Harkonnen. He doesn't even bother going there. Though from what I understand, he is very it's hit and miss for a lot of the other house planets.
Santa just bombards the Harkonnen with coal from orbit.
Yes, large quantities. Their whole world is already polluted. It doesn't make things any better at all. The rest of the place, the rest of the universe, it's kind of hit and miss. But all the good little boys and girls on Arrakis get little presents from a jolly old man who's wearing a lot less on that planet because it's very hot. In a jolly old man in a red stillsuit who's riding a sleigh pulled by 8 giant sandworms.
Does Santa need spice to fold space, or does Santa transcend spice?
I do believe it might come in the cookies and milk.
He can like eat
Is
cookies and
Santa
milk
just a guild navigator?
and use.
He's not mutated, so I don't know. I mean,
Well, we can't solve every
Yeah.
mystery.
sometimes, especially where they haven't really covered it in the books, it's kind of you're trying to like fill in whatever gaps you can. In this particular case, the Santa Claus mythos
On
covering into it, there's a lot of gaps
on one
there.
hand, I want Santa to be canon in Dune. On the other hand, I saw what happened in the later Dune book, so I do not want to see Santa be canon in Dune. Dune gets real weird.
Yeah. This movie, though, it's dragging us back, kicking and screaming to the point. This movie, though, didn't quite get weird. It just kind of, it's just a nice, quiet story, little short. Didn't overstay its welcome, in my opinion. Well, like just short of 100 minutes. At least that's by Netflix tracker. I don't know for you guys.
About an hour and a half.
Yeah, about an hour and a half. And it was, nice, short and sweet, told its story
Well,
and,
It is a kid's movie, more or less.
yeah, made you happy and then moved on.
And you came here and we traumatized you with Deep Santa lore.
I know that I watched it and I watched it without my family last night, like after everybody'd gone to bed because I was running out of time. I'm probably going to have to watch it again before Christmas, with my family. I'm not exactly sad about this proposition. I very much enjoyed this movie. I guess if we want to, we can give our reviews of it.
Well, we've got to already talk about what we liked and didn't like.
Sure.
So we
Just spit out some numbers.
I'll hear it.
Okay.
I was thinking about this before, but I will now throw it at you spur of the moment, and y'all can choose. Do we want to do what we did before and just give our own score, what's the word, individually? Or do we want to try to reach a common consent on a score?
So actually, I think that could be a nice filler for the next few minutes, is kind of bringing a debate as to the merits of this movie to try to come to a common consensus.
Okay, is it common though for us to ever get consensus on a debate?
Well,
I'm
I-
not against any idea.
I think in this
let's do it.
particular case, it's not going to be that hard because it seems like we all generally enjoyed it. It's going to be like, say, Street Fighter, where Jeff liked it, Gary was kind of neutral, and I hated it.
Okay. So this I think, yeah, we might be able to reach some form of consensus in this one. So BJ, I think we start with giving our individual scores, but then we come together debating and arguing the merits of a group score.
Okay. So I have to choose because I still steadfastly refuse to do a 0.5. I'll go with a 3, I guess. Bounce between a 2 and a 3. I wouldn't say it's not perfect. I wouldn't say it's not quite great, but it's still good. So 3.
Initially I was gonna say 4.5, maybe even 5, because I do feel like it's one of those, as a Christmas movie, dang near perfect movies. But that's a personal thing, right? So that's where we can get to the group score. So I'll put mine as 4.5. Yes, I personally don't mind 0.5s. Jeff?
So at the beginning, I was very set on giving it a 0, and I would give it a negative score, but I liked the postman's character beginning, of him being completely and totally selfish. But it grew on me, so I raised it up to a 2. A 3 is I'm okay with, because I could understand 3. It did well with the positive message.
So
Did a good job.
Jeff's official one is 2. He can be talked up to 3. I think it's 4, 4.5. BJ, you think it's somewhere in the 3. So
I was bouncing between 2 and 3. But I give it the benefit. I would go more for 3. Not enough invisible boats for Jeff, I guess.
Yes. Not enough like weird and kooky. Apparently, not enough Abraham Lincolns off the port bow in this movie.
Yeah.
No
It was
actual
lacking
Star Trek
that.
references for Jeff. So
Yes. No
Yeah, movies lose
when
a
they
point
don't have
when they don't.
actual Star Trek
have anything like
references. No international politics in this one, or interplanetary politics in this one either. So that's definitely a yes.
Yeah,
There's,
like in
there's
Star
nothing
Wars,
like that.
right.
So Jeff is definitely going to hate this movie.
Okay,
But
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gary.
so if I'm kind of willing to settle, though I would like to try to talk BJ up to 3.5, but I don't think that's going to happen. So to talk Jeff up to a 3, Jeff. So you liked The Postman, you liked his character arc. Did you like any of the other character arcs in it either, or was it just him?
I mean, the characters were fine. There was it isn't bad. You had the teachers disgruntled. Klaus had a good one. You've got the boatman, which doesn't have a character arc, but he's certainly someone who tries to tie scenes together.
Well, the woman's a side character.
So,
like, he's comic relief at best.
yeah, he's a side character. You don't really have to do a major thing with the side character. It's true.
Not every character present needs a full arc.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the movie would just last forever.
That's true. That's true.
Sometimes characters just need to
Yes.
be
Um,
what they are. Though he did kind of soften a little
Right.
bit. Just the smidge.
he was surprised. He mostly gets surprised because he's expecting everything to be exactly the way it is. Because why would people change? And he's a little shocked.
He's
by what
shocked
he
when
sees.
things do actually start to change for the better.
So in the attempt to change Jeff's mind, I suppose the question is, what did you not like, Jeff? Like, you said you wanted to give this a 0. And
So at the very beginning, I felt that way. It changed. But I don't know if that's valid because that was just from the beginning. But in the beginning, it just seemed like another animated movie. They introduce you to a new world where postmen are special and important, and there's a very selfish character. And if the selfish character never changed and was always kind of a little bit narcissistic, that I wouldn't be surprised, because there's a lot of Hollywood stories where a selfish person becomes the hero. And I'm not against it, but I'm glad that they had a positive message in the movie. So what you guys are wanting me to do is to go up to 4? Is that what you're
3.
trying to get me to do?
3.
3. Okay, I will do that. 3. I bequeath a score of 3.
And
I believe,
the question now becomes, what holes can you guys poke in it to try to drag me down to 3?
I don't know if it fully... I mean, I don't understand the bell. They ring the bell,
the bell's there to be
and
funny.
they know that it's time to fight. Yeah, I still don't get it. Okay. It's a trope because he's told to ring the bell. It's a joke on him. And that I get, but I don't understand why the bell makes people fight. Is there something that was supposed to be explained that I didn't
That's
get?
kind of the whole point, Jeff, is that they don't have a reason to fight. The bell is the reason, because tradition. It's like Fiddler on the Roof, just without the music. Tradition, tradition, tradition.
Maybe there's something to the Nordic culture
Jeff,
that would make that
Jeff,
make
it's not
sense.
that
'Cause
deep.
this takes place
It's not
like
that deep,
north
Jeff.
of Sweden, right?
It's not that deep.
Okay, it's just a
Because
bell.
the bell rings, they
I don't
fight.
get it. I don't get why.
That's it.
Okay, but wouldn't they fight without the bell?
They do. Did you not watch
They
the
do.
movie?
Yeah, they do fight. I just don't
There's like
get how the bell is significant.
There's like people constantly getting like, if this was not a cartoon, there would be a body count in this movie.
There were bodies.
True.
There was the two ladies who carried
True.
something very mysterious.
They had a boot fall out.
Yeah.
And they had the creepy little girl who was always like shoving carrots into things, presumably as training for later in life.
I won't lie, that made me laugh every time. Just a creepy little girl slowly stabbing carrots in the thing. Oh, so, like, I guess my thing is why I didn't think that highly of it is, kind of like I said before, I knew there was going to be an attempt at a ooh ee ooh ah e a walla bing bang at a emotional gut punch. So that whole thing, I'm like, okay, where I guess if I had gone totally blind, maybe that wouldn't have fallen as flat for me. But since the one thing I had been spoiled on was that there is a tearjerker scene in this movie outside the end, which is what made Gary cry.
So,
And like I'm also one person here with no kids, so I just have a harder time getting into the kid movie state of mind because I don't often have the opportunity to change my my mental gear to that extent to watch this in the frame of mind of a kid, whether as a kid, since I did not grow up with this movie, or as someone who was watching this with their kid, or like pre-watching it to see if it is okay to watch for their kid. So that's just me. I do not enjoy kid movies as much as other people do because I am not often in the child mental space, so to speak.
fair enough. And 3 is a fairly solid score, so I'm willing to accept that. Because it was a fairly solid movie. It wasn't... I'm pretty sure it was
Yes.
just like... What's the word? It was just ruined by the time it came out. Like, if it had come out at a different time, it might have gotten better traction. I don't think it ever... Did it even get a theatrical release?
I don't think so. I think I'm not sure. I'm gonna go fact check that real quick. You guys have fun talking for a minute.
Because I don't know if it got a theatrical release. I do know that it was kind of like one of those released without any fanfare, but it stuck around because it fills its niche fairly solidly, right? Not like amazing, just it's okay. I personally think it's great, but that's a personal thing. Like, it's one of those... I think it's a movie that doesn't scream loud enough in this day and age. So, that's probably...
Do you still go to movie theaters, Gary?
on occasion.
Okay.
Depending on the movie and depending on the mood. Mainly depending on the mood. Right? The family has to be in the right mindset to go to a movie. Right? We have to be like, okay, we need to go to a movie. Let's find a movie that we can, we need to go to the theaters. Let's find a movie that we actually want to watch.
So it appears that the answer is kind of. It had according to Google, it had a limited theatrical release in select cinemas, mainly so it could qualify for Oscar consideration.
They did it just for the awards.
Yes. And
Not for the money.
Well,
The
I saw in the thing it showed that it had won some forms of awards. I don't know what, but
it was nominated for Best Animated Feature Film in 2020. I don't know what won that year. It won some awards I've never heard of. Won an Annie Award, BAFTA, the award in Spain, European Film. So yeah, just like a bunch of random
side
awards, but
not
not really anything you had heard of.
Well, I liked the movie, so I think we all generally liked the movie.
Yes.
If we're all willing to be argued at least into the positive realm. So
Yes, if we were willing to compromise on the three, we have raised Jeff's score a point and lowered Gary's score by a point and a half.
Yeah, see how easy compromise is? Easy.
You say that until we do this with some other movie that we have wildly different opinions on.
Something that we actually have much stronger feelings on.
yes,
I feel like if we try doing this with, like, say, Nobody, friendships might have ended.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised when you brought it up. I'm like, we're going to decide and debate?
Well, like I said, I thought about it before, but thought it might be fun.
It definitely had its point. So, yeah, I don't have much more to say on this one.
Yeah.
So,
we've all learned a little something
Anyway,
about Santa lore and have explored many important concepts related to it.
sounds like BJ has one more thing though.
Go ahead, BJ.
I just while I was fact checking the theatrical release, you guys were talking about going to movie theaters. I think the last time I went to theater was still Godzilla -1.
Me too.
Which apparently they have a sequel for that one coming out. So
Yeah,
maybe we'll drag you to the theater again.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I know they set up a sequel, but Godzilla -1 is a very good self-contained movie. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
bitch.
Yep. But people who made money want to make more money.
Speaking of which,
So will they let the art
speaking
sit?
of making money, I have heard of something that might get Jeff to go out to a theater. Don't know if Jeff
Ooh.
has heard about this.
This has got to be something.
So, from what I have heard, I believe it has been officially announced, they are going to show the, the original theatrical version of Star Wars, of A New Hope, in theaters. The non-special edition.
Are they going to also release it on a disc?
I don't know.
I don't know.
They already did
Okay.
that, Jeff. You can already get
Do
that.
not get Jeff started on this. Do not
Actually,
get Jeff
no.
started on this. Abort! Abort! Wave off! Wave off!
Consonar Crazy Ivan.
God, someone are crazy.
Okay, moving on quickly while blood pressure goes down. Next subject.
Okay.
Merry Christmas,
No, I
everybody.
didn't really have much of a subject. I was actually trying to get us out. So
We need to get out
having
faster.
said that-
By trying to get out, by trying to get us out, you basically led us directly into the sandworm.
Yeah, way to go, Gary.
It's just a giant version of Jeff coming out and saying, "Hard shot first."
So regardless, let's try this again.
Merry Christmas,
I don't have
everybody.
much more to say about this movie, so
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. This is, I think, probably going to come out the week of Christmas, I think. If I'm feeling super adventurous, might be the week before. But at any rate, it'll come out a little bit before Christmas. We'll see.
Yay.
We'll see if the three of us get anything from Santa for trying to, because of what was said.
Probably not.
What are we talking about? Oh, you guys and your Santa lore theorizing? Yeah, you guys are getting coal. Lots of it. You just wait. There's going to be coal. You've criticized too much sci-fi. Coal for both of you. Okay, that's really me that's done that. I know. Sure. Too many Star Trek references.
I'm waging a war within myself. I could say something really mean about Jeff here, but we're trying to leave on a happy note.
PJ's trying to be on.
I'm not
be on the naughty list.
But
this
PJ,
time.
I'm not trying to leave on a happy note. I'm just trying to leave.
As always happens. Let's see, we get back to
There's
the groove
no way
immediately. So, yeah, I'm BJ. With me is Jeff and Gary. Who knows when we'll come back? Maybe sooner, maybe later, maybe never. Who knows? But like Santa, no one sees us coming.
But the cookies and milk will be eaten.
The spice cookies and spice milk. Santa's consciousness expands to overtake the entire universe. The reindeer have awakened. I'm just going to stop there. Goodbye, everybody.